Hey there, welcome again to AS IELTS Assistance. I'm Sakib. In this video, you're going to see a candidate who's going to probably score a magnificent band 8.5 for his performance in the IELTS speaking exam. For your practice, feel free to pause the video after every question and answer it by yourself and then compare your answer with that of this candidate. Watch till the end if you want to score 8.5 in all three parts of the speaking exam. So, let's start. Hello, I'm Sakib, and I'm going to be your examiner for this portion of the IELTS test. So, the speaking exam contains three parts. In the first part, I'm going to ask you a few questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. But before we begin, let me see your identification, please. Okay, so your name is Alif Ashraf, and what should I call you?
You can just call me Alif.
Okay, that's good. So let's start. Okay, so what did you do this morning?
Well, first of all, I was actually preparing myself. I practiced in front of a mirror, I practiced in front of family members, and then I had breakfast. Now I'm here.
Okay, and do you like working out?
Well, when I get time, yes, I do. Because like fitness is pretty important for a person's physical health.
Okay, and how often do you work out?
If I'm being honest, I don't really work out that much because like I'm really busy with other stuff, for example, studies. I don't get the time.
Okay, and do you think physical exercise is a good way to maintain proper health?
Definitely, because if you don't do much physical exercise, you gradually become lazier, and then you could gain the weight, which could be lethal in later stages.
Okay, and how conscious are you about eating healthy food?
I'd say I am quite conscious because I do care about my health. I don't want to end up with some disease like diabetes or high cholesterol in the future, so I do take care of what I eat.
Okay, and how often do you eat outside?
This is actually like nowadays because of stress, I have been eating outside more like about once or twice a week, every 2 weeks, but I do try to reduce it.
Okay, now let's talk about email. So, what kind of emails do you receive about your work or studies?
Well, most of the times my emails consist of emails from professors talking about exams or assignments or any upcoming tasks or just the course in general.
Okay. And do you prefer to email, phone, or text your friends?
Well, if it's my friends, then I definitely prefer talking because it like on the phone that is, because it's more personal. It feels like you're literally standing next to them.
Okay. And do you reply to emails and messages as soon as you see them?
Normally, yes, I do because, well, it could be important. Most of the times, it is important, so I always reply as soon as possible.
Okay, that's good. And are you happy to receive emails that are advertising things?
That depends on what is advertising. For example, if it's useless advertisement, like if it advertises a product that I have no interest for, then I have no like I literally do not want it. But for example, if it advertises something else, like if it's study related, if it gives me an opportunity, then definitely I would like to receive more of those emails.
Okay. So that concludes part one. And in part two, I'm going to give you a card and a paper and pencil. You have 1 minute to prepare your answer on this topic, and you'll have to talk for about 2 minutes. So you just paper and pencil. And your time starts now. Okay, your time's up, and you can start speaking.
Okay, so a hotel that I stayed in that I really enjoyed. It was I think about last year. It was in China in a city. Well, not a city. It's a town called Enshi in Hubei province. It's about 500 kilometers away from Wuhan, the origin of the coronavirus. It was a very nice hotel. Well, it wasn't anything fancy. It was just that it was really simple. That's what I liked. It was away from the city. It had mountains around it, and like the entire environment. It was just filled with lots of shops and traditional activities. It was just very alive. You can even say that you would like much rather go there than New York City or something, because it's just sometimes it's good to have like distance from the city. So this hotel was really simple. It had only like 3 floors. I stayed at the top floor. It was like basically everything you could need. I had a pretty big room to myself. It had a nice and clean and spacious washroom, and it had a large TV. So well, it was pretty much good. And also, obviously, it provided the basic necessities for coffee, for example, coffee, tea, and also shower appliances. And I have to say, it is a very nice hotel to stay at. It might not be like one of those 5-star hotels or 7-star hotels in Dubai or something, but it still gives you a peace of mind when you stay there.
Okay, so that concludes part two. Please give me those things back. Uh, in part three, I'm gonna ask you a few questions related to the previous part. So let's start. Uh, what things are important when people are choosing a hotel?
I have to say, one of the main things that are important are cleanliness. You want it to be clean and hygienic and also appealing. You need to make it as appealing as possible to customers.
And why do some people not like staying in hotels?
Well, I guess it depends on our personal preference because, for example, in hotels, there are some, excuse me, some rules and regulations that you have to maintain. For example, if one person smokes, they can't smoke in a hotel room. They might not like that. Or let's say a person can't really, like, they're not looking to spend that much. They would probably get an Airbnb instead of a hotel.
Okay. And do you think staying in a luxury hotel is a waste of money?
I honestly do not think that because, well, the money, the price for those luxury hotels are there for a reason. You can easily, like, I'm pretty sure you've heard of a hotel in Singapore that has 3 identical buildings and there's like a pool on the top. That hotel, it's really expensive per night, but I honestly think it is kind of worth it because of all like how wonderful it is, the views, the facilities, everything about it is beautiful.
Okay. Do you think hotel work is a good career for life?
Again, that's a personal preference. I can't really judge other people on their personal preferences. For example, one person may decide to be a hotel manager for life. If that's what makes them happy, then sure. Like for me, I won't want to do that because like I do not really have much interest in that. But for another person, that could be a good thing for them.
Okay. And how does working in a big hotel compare with working in a smaller hotel?
Well, first of all, in a big hotel, it might not be as flexible as working in a smaller hotel because in big hotel, you're always greeted by some very VIP guests, and you always have to follow lots of rules and regulation. In a smaller hotel, you might be more flexible. You might like, for example, in a bigger hotel, if you're a manager, you're always gonna have to wear a suit. You're always gonna have to greet them. Well, you always just have to be there, always be attentive. But in a smaller hotel, you might be more casual. You might have a more flexible job.
Okay. And what skills are needed to be a successful hotel manager?
I would have to say problem solving is one of the most important skills as a hotel manager because you will have complaints, that's for sure. Without a doubt, you will have complaints from guests, and how you manage them, how you resolve the problems really reflects on how you are as a hotel manager, whether you're successful or unsuccessful.
Okay. So that concludes the speaking portion of the IELTS exam, and you're going to receive your score within 2 weeks with the other parts. So before going, don't forget your identification and have a good day.
Thank you.